lot of nuts!
Ohio gozaimasu, gamers, and welcome back to the Meme Loaf. I'm your host, Sumeto Media, and yet again, we find ourselves talking about Mr. Beast. In one way or another, I can't stop talking about news surrounding Jimmy Beast. It's starting to get ridiculous. At what point am I just going to become Mr. Beast? Wouldn't that be crazy if I just kept talking about him and then I had like 130 million subs? Wouldn't that be so insane to have that many subs? Hit the fucking button. Transition. The current news surrounding Jimmy Beast is a bit of a weird one. The internet's up in arms. Everybody's a little bit upset. Everybody's a little bit confused. Everybody's a little bit gay. But that's just the internet on any given day. What's happening now specifically that's got me talking about it? If you guys watch Mr. Beast videos, and I don't, so sorry if I get this wrong, you will know one of the characters known as Chris. Recently, there was a bit of a viral photo that went viral, I should use better words, on Twitter, showcasing the change that Chris has undergone in the last couple of months. Eventually, the popularity of this photo caught the attention of Chris himself, at which point he revealed that he had been taking hormone replacement therapy, explaining the change over the last few months. Obviously, with the internet being the wholesome and accepting place that it is 100% of the time, this news was met with open arms. Mr. Beast's cinematic universe now officially has a trans character? I'm expecting to see a Netflix movie in the next 6 months.
You know what it should feel like when somebody wants to change their gender? It should be like you just woke up and smelled the air. Like, it should just be normal at this point. I seen the tweet and I was like, why are people in an outrage for this dude wanting to like be whoever the fuck he is? Like,
what a wholesome clip from the one and only low tier god. I'm sure his entire brand is nothing but acceptance and positivity. No. In reality, this news was a complete shit show. I mean, sure, plenty of people were showing positive comments to the fact that Chris was now being the person that he wants to be, which is what we should all strive to be at the end of the day. But in fact, a weird number of people, seemingly all members of the board of authority when it comes to Mr. Beast's bottom line, were worried about how this might affect Mr. Beast's brand loyalty, how well he might be able to get views on his channel now that he has to deal with Chris. I don't want to glaze over the nuance of the conversation that's being held around Chris. There's a lot of other things that people are bringing up amongst this HRT news, okay? People are bringing up old tweets that Chris has made, conversations he's had that have been a little bit edgy, a little bit transphobic, that have been him flexing his newfound cash on anybody who wants to point the finger. It brings up the age-old meme of old Chris would make fun of new Chris, which you've seen with everybody else on the internet, from old PewDiePie would make fun of new PewDiePie, old low-tier god would make fun of new low-tier god, old iDubbbz would make fun of new iDubbbz. If you're on the internet for long enough, you're gonna grow and change as a person. And for some reason, the internet just absolutely hates that or can't grasp the concept of someone having different opinions than when they did 5-10 years ago. That's why I know that no matter what, I will always have the same opinions about everything for the entirety of my career. That being said, is anybody else getting really sick of vending machines?
nope. Sorry, Mexican. You're not getting those fucking points off me.
If you want to learn the full details of what everybody's saying about Chris and Mr. Beast, then you should probably watch a show that isn't hosted by the Costco version of Ray William Johnson. For this episode, we'll cover enough bullet points to get you to what everybody's making memes about. I feel like that's what I do best. And at this moment, it's this video by SunnyV2.
Chris wanted to do a joke about cutting his nuts, so here you go. Chris is cutting his nuts. Chris has no nuts confirmed.
SunnyV2 is a wildly successful YouTuber who grew to prominence over the course of the last couple years, making commentary-style mini-documentaries overviewing the rise and fall of YouTubers, a very popular genre in the space. Not only were his videos generally well edited and well researched and did a good job of making succinct explainers about how certain creators rose to power and then subsequently lost all of their following or prominence or popularity due to some sort of drama or just bad decisions in the content they were making, he also garnered a tremendous amount of following from Moist Critical, who would react to his videos live on his Twitch stream and then re-upload his reactions to his main YouTube channel, which has 10+ million subs. I don't want to take away from how good SunnyV2's videos are generally, but it'd be silly for me to say that he didn't get some sort of boost from this large of a creator basically showing his entire audience his work on a regular basis. He will always sort of poke the bear in a way to push everything towards a more negative light, because negativity is what drives views. Nobody's watching his videos because they're excited to see how Onision grew to power. No, they want to hear the story about how a certain popular creator that you probably don't like anymore, that completely fell off, and how they ruined the entirety of their online personality, how they destroyed their fame, their popularity, how they lost everything that they once had. Negativity gets views. That's just how it is. But his most recent video, titled How Chris Could Become a Nightmare for Mr. Beast, people feel like steps a little bit too far, makes a few too many assumptions about Chris as a person and how Mr. Beast feels about his friend transitioning. The video, for the most part, is basically a retelling of just facts, the storyline between Chris and how he started with Mr. Beast videos, leaving his wife, taking HRT, painting his nails, and then sort of shrouds a light over all of this as a negative impact on Mr. Beast's brand as a whole. Is it possible that this makes Mr. Beast a little bit less marketable? Is it possible that people don't want to watch Mr. Beast videos because of Chris's transition? It's possible, sure, but the issue that people are having with Sunny V2's video is the fact that he paints this entire scenario as just a bad business marketing decision by Mr. Beast, as if Mr. Beast is actively choosing to keep Chris in the videos to make some sort of statement about trans people, and he feels like if he gets too political, then it might be bad for the Mr. Beast brand, as opposed to the reality that Mr. Beast is just accepting his friend for who he wants to be and isn't going to kick him out of the squad simply because of a life decision that he really has no choice over. Mr. Beast actually responded to a tweet showcasing the Sunny V2 video, in which he said, "Yeah, I'm getting sick of this. Chris isn't my nightmare, he's my friend, and this transphobia is pissing me off. Mr. Beast, more like Mr. LGBTQ plus 9,000. I could have thought of something better. Transition. Is Chris getting more backlash about this transition simply because he's associated with the apolitical, family-friendly, biggest YouTuber on the platform, Mr. Beast? Totally. And it's unfair. Is Chris also being a little bit of a dickhead to a lot of people on Twitter, starting unnecessary beef and giving people a legitimate reason to think he's an asshole? Also a little bit. Surprisingly, though, all of this has been completely overshadowed by the Sunny V2 video. People don't care so much about the beef surrounding Mr. Beast and Chris. No. They want to see the rise and fall of the biggest rise and fall YouTuber. And that's poetic justice, I think. I didn't look up the definition. What do you guys think is going to be the fall of Sumeto Media? What do you think is going to be the end of my career? I think I'm going to make one too many jokes about North Korea, and then they're going to nuke me specifically. I think I win the Streamer Awards, and then Ludwig stabs me in the kidney on stage. Sumeto Media gets canceled for being too sexy. Yeah, that's it. If Chris wins the next Mr. Beast video challenge, is he only going to get 77% of an island? Mr. Beast! I don't necessarily think that anybody actually cares about Chris's transition or his impact on Mr. Beast videos going forward. I don't actually think anybody cares about that. I think this entire thing is just an extension of the hate that started when Mr. Beast did his Curing 1,000 People Blindness video. I think people appreciated the taste of being able to take a stab at one of the biggest creators on the platform, and now they're just continuing with that hate to find any excuse to make Mr. Beast look bad. And listen, I'm not approving of a dude who generally does great stuff for the platform, gives away a ton of money, does a lot of good, just getting hated on for no reason. But I have expressed this in the past. I hate the fact that Mr. Beast feels like he has no personality. The dude's as neutral as it gets, milquetoast to the core. Do any of you guys even know what his favorite anything is? Can you name one Mr. Beast personality trait? What's his favorite TV show? Is he secretly a furry? Do you know anything about him other than the fact that he's rich but claims that he's not rich? Do you guys know anything? No. But now, Mr. Beast is a trans ally? Mr. Beast will get into Twitter beef to defend one of his friends? He cares more about his friend's personality and keeping that friendship over the money he could make? That's a personality trait. Mr. Beast starts beef with rise and fall YouTuber? Hey, you keep doing this shit, Jimmy. You're gonna make a fan out of me after all. In today's video, I'm gonna crucify myself and then come back to life 3 days later to prove I'm not the Antichrist. And if I can't do it, I'm gonna give everybody in Jerusalem a brand new Tesla. Thank you for making it to the end of yet another episode of the Sumeto Media Show. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you didn't, get a better taste in videos. You're clearly a Neanderthal. Big shout out to the Patreon boy scrolling in the back. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Mr. Spees!